Okay, so here I was able to fix my Eclipse without having to reinstall it, but then somehow I lost my video stream. So um, you, I'll go through this without video. This is the same exact code that you have in Blackboard. If you were to come to Blackboard and download this account.zip, it's the same code I'm going to walk through right now. So there are a number of files there. I think there's one file I deleted while I was messing around. The you know what? Maybe I should just let me let me redo this from scratch while we are here together. So delete. Where's that? Where's delete? That's delete. Delete project content on disk. Okay. So let me re-download from Blackboard. Zip. No. Boom. Pull it. It's gonna ask me to save it. Let me save it somewhere that I have not saved before. New folder. I'm just gonna call that today, uppercase. So today is under what? Yeah, that's today. All right, so I've downloaded it there, and I need to unzip it first and foremost. So let's see, download. It's here. It's today. That's that. Okay. It's showing me with the one because I had downloaded one earlier. I thought I was going to put it directly in my download folder. So let me just name this properly. All right, so I can import this to Eclipse now. New file import existing project into project from folder or archive. We could do either one. Next. Directory. Today. Where's today? This is today. That's that. Okay, so this is my project, today account project. Okay. There are a few files here you can delete, you can discount if you choose to. Inheritance, no, decision making. This was from the decision making class. You can delete it. Inheritance loop, you can delete it. This was when we did inheritance. And loop, same thing. My array, the same thing. All these four classes, you can delete them if you want. So I'm just going to delete. Okay, they have no part in your project. If you want to use them as reference, maybe on how to do if else while loops or stuff like that, you could, but they're not really necessary for your project. The files that are necessary for your project is the account, which is the base of all your various accounts, the checking account, which is a derived class from the account, the savings account, which is a derived class from the account. This is the exception class, the custom exception class for when you try to withdraw your account. Then this is the driver class, teller. You will still need to create a new, let's go back to create a new subclass as well. if you read through the instructions here, I already created two account classes, the savings account and the checking account, but I'm also asking you to create a new account. I mean, to create another type of account class that derives from the base account class. Bear in mind, if you want to add more fields, more functionalities via methods to the account, by all means do that. Okay, you are not limited to what we have in the account class just so far. Your teller class or teller.java is the driver for your whole program, because it's the only one of all of these guys that has the main method. Okay, so what I was trying to show earlier in class, well, I couldn't show it in class because, of course, my Eclipse was messed up. You could pass your account file to the program at the start when you start running it. And how to do that is, I'll show you that in a second. But the account file will be the first argument you will pass to your program. And because it's the first argument, it's going to be arg0 or args0, and that's why it's here. When I had, I think it was Aliyah do that in class, well, for our own earlier, what I had her do was, instead of reading it from the command line, I just had her do something like the string f equals, then I asked her to put the full path to our file here and change this to f. Okay, that's what I had Aliyah do earlier. You could do that, but of course, that just means your file name is static. You can't pass another account file to it. But if you want to make it to be more robust, args0, and I will show you how to pass what's it called, the file to your program in a second or two. So to pass the file to your program, you need to know the location of the file, the full location of the file. The other option is to create the file and dump it somewhere here, which is really not what you want to do. So let's see, where's my own file? I have a file here. Okay. I have a file here called my accounts.dat. That's the name of my file. Your file does not have to be exactly the same thing as mine. It does not have to be. I'm seeding my program with 3 accounts. And the structure of my file is such that the first entry is C, which is the account type, followed by a comma. So I'm delineating each field with a comma. So the account type followed by the account number, followed by the balance, followed by the PIN number. If you want, you can keep that order. If you want, you don't have. I mean, you can change the order around. You can add more things. For example, let's say you want to add the account holder, which is not even accounted for here. Let's say account holder, we just put Olumide Adebayo. Bear in mind that if you put a comma between Olumide and Adebayo, that when you process it, it's going to come out as two items. Let's assume you choose in your own file, in your program, to also include the address or the telephone number of the account holder. So you add a field to the account class called telephone 122-444-8181. Okay, you might want to add address, anything you want to add. It's up to you. What I'm giving you here is just an example. My program does not understand the account holder or the telephone number from the file, so I'm going to remove it for now. Okay, so I have these 3 records right here. My file is here, is in users Adebayo Desktop Spring 2023 NWCC CSC 220 account project. That's the full parent path to my file. The file itself is called myaccount.dat. It's important to give your program the full what's it called? The full path with the file. So if I were to do this, paste slash, no, not account, my account counts.dat. So this is the full path to my file. Okay. This is the full path to my file. And now to pass that to my program, the class I want to run is Teller. Well, as long as Teller is the only one that actually has a main class, a main method, you can run the whole project, but I'll just pick it from Teller. Right click, run as, pick run configuration, and when you come to main, that's not what I want to run. Cancel. When I come to run as, run configuration, okay, see, watch what is happening here. It's picking Maven build. That's not what I want. That's not what you want. You want to pick Java application. Okay, double click it. It automatically puts Teller there because that was the class I started with. So you want to pick Java application. When I started, it went to Maven build. I think that was because I was trying to clean up Eclipse earlier. Clean up Eclipse. So Java application is what you want to click on. Teller should be here. Also make sure your project name is shown here, whatever your project name is. The main class is Teller. That's the class we want to run. Okay, you don't need to select anything here. The next thing you want to do is arguments. Okay, now in this box here under program arguments, just paste the full path to your file there. If you have a space somewhere in there or special characters, what will happen is when it calls your program, it will pass this piece of it as args0, and then this other portion, it will pass it to your program as args1. You don't want that to happen. You want everything to be passed. So what you need to do is surround this path with a double quote. Okay. Surround that with a double quote. You don't have to change any of the other. You don't have to put anything here. Don't uncheck or check off anything here. Just leave it like that. Name is Stella there. That's fine. So let's apply this. That way, subsequently, if you try to run it, it will have this there already. Then run. And if you noticed, right at the bottom here, it spit out the 3 accounts I had in my file. Yes, this number is wrong. It says 2 accounts loaded from file. You'll see the reason why it's wrong in a second. So that's running it. It should compile straight out of the box. If you notice, I just downloaded it. I didn't make any changes to it. Okay. Now, how does the program flow itself? It's very straightforward. Let's expand that. So you have your scanner there, you have the Max account and all that stuff. The first thing I did here is again, we're using arrays here, not array lists or list or any of those collections that are dynamic, that can grow and shrink as you need. So what I decided to do was declare a very large array, an array of 1,000 elements. We are never going to create that many accounts, but then the next thing I did was I called load account from file. Load account from file. Load account from file is at the bottom of this file. It does all the extraction from the data file that you passed in. Let's see that in a second, and then we'll come back to line 28. Load account from file is what is at the bottom here. And what does it do? It does all this boilerplate stuff for you, basically opening the file, opening a buffered reader, and then looping through the file. So the first thing we did was we said index is 0, right? Because we want to count how many accounts are in the file. And then I said line equals br.readline. As long as that is not equal to null, that means as long as we still get more lines from the file, keep reading. So here I said system.out, it printed whatever it read, which was why you saw these lines here, but it did it one line by line. The next thing it did is it split my line based on comma. Remember, I said for my file, oops, what is that? VI my account.dat. Okay, my file, I delimited it each column with a comma. So when I'm splitting the data, when I'm splitting each line in my file, I have to split it using a comma. Okay, so the line is what I read in, and then I'm splitting the line using a comma. I expect it to return an array with each index in the array representing each column from my file, if I can refer to that as a column. The first one is, which is going to be index 0, is going to be C, or watch this again. For the first row, the first index is going to be C. The next index is going to be my account number, this guy here, not the whole thing, this one. Then the next index is going to be 120, which is the balance. And then the next index is going to be 9999, 4 nines, which is the P number. Then when it reads the next line, it's going to do the same split. The first one is going to be a C. The next index is going to be the account number, account balance, and P number. Then it reads the last line. The first column is going to be a C. The next It's going to be account number, balance, PIN number. So if you come here, I do my split here. I capture my account type, capture my account number. Now, the account balance, when you store anything in a file, anything in the file is read in as a string, really. But we want to convert that to money or a double data type. So the way to do that is do double.parse double, and that will return the balance for us. The next thing is the PIN number. We are going to do something similar to what we did on line 284 and 184, sorry. In this case, it's an integer dot parse int, and we'll pass to it the fourth split, which is the third index. Now that we have these four things, well, we can create our account from that first row. So what I'm doing here is switch of type. If it is a C stands for checking. So checking account. We create a checking account. You set the balance. You set the account number. I could have set the PIN number. What else was there? I think I didn't have to set the type because once I create a checking account, it sets the type for me automatically, something like that. But I could have set the PIN number. If you decided to have the account holder, you could set that. If you created a new field, telephone, email, you could set all those things. Then the next thing I want to do is, okay, now I created this account, I'm storing it in my array. Remember the big array at the top, the array up to 1000. I'm storing it there, right? And I'm increasing index. So by the time I'm done with this first line, my index will be 1. It started here as index 0 in the array, but it will increase index because I'm using the plus plus. Okay? And then I'm breaking out of my case. What should happen is, let's see. So I break, and then this is a while loop. It will come and read the next line. Probably do exactly the same thing we just went over. Index plus plus. Then goes to do the next line. Now, if you remember in my file, the next line is actually an S, right? And I did not implement anything for the S. You need to do that. That's part of you making the project work. And because I didn't do anything here, it just didn't create the third account, right? You also need to do a case for your own third account type. So here I have support for account type C and account type S. You need to add the third one for you, whatever it is. If you, who knows, if it's a brokerage account, the type can be B or something like that, whatever it is. Now, here it says 2 accounts loaded from file, and the reason is because the index was only increased twice because I didn't do any implementation here. So that's why you have 2 here. It's not like the program is actually wrong. It's just that it's not complete yet, which is part of what you're doing. So that's all that this guy does, load from account. That's all he does. Let's go back to the top there. So if you keep following, line 28, I'm saying file, accounts, load, accounts loaded from file. You can print that out. You don't have to print it out. I just printed it out. Okay. Then the next thing is I'm saying level input equals to 0. Basically, what's going to happen now is we've loaded our accounts, right? Imagine a teller that starts in the morning, right? There are some accounts in the bank, but a new person comes in. Well, hey, is the person here to open an account? Is the person here to do a transaction on an existing account? It's one of those two things that's going to happen. The other option is exit the program. So the do loop here, the first thing it does is it says show level 1 menu. Your level 1 menu is a function that a method. Level 1 menu, it's somewhere here too. Okay, if you read my instructions here, I said show the main menu that gives users 3 options. Well, the first option is create an account. The second option will be interact with an existing account. The third option will be quit. So whatever option the user chooses is what you are returning as an integer or an int. If the user picked option 1, create a new account, you want to go into the create new account method and create a new account. In that account method, where is create a new account? Do I have it somewhere here? Yeah, create a new account. In this method, you will interact with the user to create a new account, ask for the account holder, ask for any information you need to create a new account. Okay. If the person wants to create a checking account, then you create a checking account for them. If the person wants to create a savings account, then you create a savings account for them. If the person wants to create your own type of account, you create that for them, and you return that account. That's your return parameter, or your return data, excuse me. So you capture that here and you add it to your accounts array. Okay. If the person chose 2, then that means the person wants to interact with an existing account. So the next thing we do is account picker menu. Account picker menu is down here as well. You need to fill it up. Here it says, here you show the user the account number, the account type, and the balance, and ask the user to select an account number. So basically here, you will be looping through, which is why I have the for loop here. You will loop through your array, okay? And as long as there's an account in that index, you want to print out the account number, the account type, and the balance so that the user can pick an account number for you. So you capture the account number that the user selected, and you return that. So here we have what? The user returned an account number. I mean, yes, the user picked an account. Then here we have find account, right? Based on account number. So you just implement the find account. The find account method is similar to what you just saw. It's just going to be a loop through the account array. And if the account that the user selected matches the account number, that's the account you want. So something like this. This is not, I'm not this is not in Blackboard. So for account ACT, the array is called accounts, right? You can say something like if act.get account number don't forget equals. You can do equals, you can do equals ignore case, it doesn't matter to me. Equals account number. Basically, you are checking it against the account number that the user entered. If that's the case, then you return account. Okay, that means you found the account. That's it. Very simple, very straightforward. So now once you find the account, where am I? Okay, find account. Then you go into another menu, account options menu. Account options menu will give the user options. What do you want to do? Do you want to deposit? Do you want to withdraw? I think those are the two things we allow anyway. I guess maybe you can give them an option to check their balance as well. Okay. Depending on what you choose to have in your account options menu, where's the account options menu? Right here. So it's up to you to, fill that in, whatever options you want to give someone in terms of how to interact with the account. That comes back here. You can use an if else loop. So if the person say, if, for example, if one is for deposit, well, what you want to do here, I have it as 0, but in reality, what you want to do is really you ask the user to enter an amount that the user wants to deposit, right? You capture that amount, you add it to your account, right? If it's a withdrawal, you capture the amount, you subtract it from the account, and if it's just printing the balance, print the balance, and that's it. Where am I? Okay, so since that is in a loop, right? Where's the where's the loop here? Okay, says yeah, this is the loop, line 31. Since that's in a loop, once that is done, if the user okay, sorry, this is a loop too, right? So if the user keeps picking, you keep presenting to the user the account options menu. Hey, do you want to deposit? Do you want to withdraw? Do you want to see your balance? The person says, I want to deposit. You ask for the deposit amount. You make the deposit for the user. Then you ask them again, do you want to deposit? Do you want to withdraw? Do you want to view your balance? Oh, I want to make a withdrawal. You do that. Do you want to deposit? Do you want to withdraw? Do you want to see your balance? Oh, I want to make a deposit again. That is a loop until the person chooses whatever your option in the menu is for exiting, that is to quit the menu. So that could be, in this case I said account options until it is equal to, or it's not, as long as it's not equal to -1. So you can tell the person choose -1 to quit, or if your quit option is 3 or 5, whatever it is, that's what you need to put here. Okay, once you do that, it will break out of this loop for the account options menu, and then it will go back to this outer loop, which is the, hey, welcome to our bank. Are you here to create an account? Are you here to interact with an existing account? Or the third option is to quit. If the person picked, oh, I want to create an account this time around, then you go through that process again. Then once the account is created, it goes back to that main menu. Welcome to our account, to our bank. Are you here to create an account? Are you here to interact with an existing account or quit? If the person says, I want to interact with an existing account, you take them again to the account interaction menu. And you keep doing this, but because it's a loop, until the person picks your exit option, you don't get out of the loop. And the moment the person picks your exit option, then you break out of the loop. I hope this helps everybody to get a better understanding of this. It's really nothing that we've not touched. It's just an understanding of the logic, right? It's a loop inside a loop. It's if else conditions, it's switch case conditions, inheritance accounts, checking accounts that extends base accounts. So really, nothing here is new. But if you do have more specific questions, by all means, please let me know. Yeah, I will stop here. And if there are any questions, please send me an email or Adebayo at what's it called? nwcc.comnet.edu. Thank you.